YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. This one here has a ton of stuff actually that is pretty interesting for the collection. A few titles for like PSP and stuff like that that I really wanted to add into the collection, so pretty happy with that. I'll get started on the first thing that I got here was something from Goodwill. I ended up finding a few titles that I was actually interested in. So what ended up happening was I got a few titles that, or a couple titles that I wasn't really interested in. The reason why is it's still that $30. You spend $30, you get 10 off, so you end up spending 20. So there's no point in buying like $20 worth of stuff when you can buy $30 worth of stuff. Because if you buy $20 worth of stuff, you're still going to pay 20 bucks. So you might as well buy $30 worth of stuff. So the first thing that I got here, which is basically just like a throw-in, is Azaric Rise of Perethia. I think that's how you say that. Never heard it said before, so that's that. This is an original only for Xbox title, so that's pretty cool right there. I love to get these only for Xbox titles. The problem with this one is it's got a whole bunch of problems with it. Missing the manual, and this disc is just fairly trashed for the most part. I'm going to have to give it a serious cleaning and run that through the Resurfacer for sure. I think it's probably the worst condition I've ever seen, so it's pretty rough, but I have brought discs back to life that are similar, so we'll see if I can get that one back. I didn't have it in my collection, so I thought I would pick it up, but this thing has definitely gone through the you know, circuit. You can see the old GameStop stickers on there, so that's that. Moving on, I also picked up Emergency Mayhem for the Wii. Pretty cool title. It has the same affliction though. Its disc, I think, is fairly butchered. Yeah, it's in pretty rough shape, so I don't know what was going on that Goodwill that day, but things are pretty beat up now. Again, I'll just resurface that and away we go. I think it'll work perfectly fine. Looks pretty interesting, like a bunch of different mini games. It says explore 8 environments in a huge city, so there's a lot of different stuff going on here. I don't know if to check it out, what it's all about. I can't remember if I've seen this before in like someone's videos or something like that, so I thought I would see and just check it out for myself. Moving on, I picked up something that unfortunately is not in the world's greatest shape, but I wasn't about to leave it behind. It's Mario Kart for the Wii, and it's not in the worst condition. It's not in the worst condition of those three, but that was one of the ones, and I was really debating getting this. There is some pretty sizable scratches on it, but I have that Resurfacer like I was saying before, so that'll just go through the Resurfacer. It'll be a good test to see how things go or whatever. Unfortunately with this case, this is a Wii case, because you can actually see Wii written in there, but for some reason someone has decided to take the artwork off and then rip the plastic part around it that like would have protected it. I don't know why somebody would choose to do something like that, but that's that there. But pretty good deal. Those were the sort of things that I was looking at basically, and I was sort of like on the fence about basically. So I mean, I did want to get the Wii game, but these two here I kind of just got because they were extras, and you know, obviously Mario Kart I want to pick up, but it's just this good trade fodder or whatever. But these are the three titles, or three things rather, that I'd be interested in. Actually, I'll show you the not game thing first. I came with these like component cables. It's actually for the original Xbox. What it is an Xbox high definition AV pack, and basically you can just plug in like any component cables into that and plug that into your Xbox, and away you go. So pretty interesting. I know you can get, I have cables, and I know you can get other cables, like I have monster cables that are basically this end, and then at the other end of it is like this kind of connection. So I don't really understand what the box exactly is for. I know it has like digital audio out right here, so that's kind of cool that it has the digital audio out. I've never actually used something like that before, so that would be sort of interesting, but I want to see how this sort of stacks up against like the monster cables that I use. And it came with this. They wanted $5 for it. I thought it was a reasonable deal. I know that these definitely sell for more, so it's always nice to be able to upscale that, not really upscale, I guess, to get the best possible picture quality out of your original Xbox. And then I also picked up for $5 Sonic Rivals, which is pretty cool. for the PSP. This is what I was talking about before, some PSP titles. I don't know if this one's any good, but we'll see how it goes. It's in really good shape, so it's nice to actually find something that was good in good shape at that store, because those last 3 that I showed you there weren't in the world's greatest shape. So pretty cool deal right there. Sonic Rivals, I don't really know a whole lot about it, but I'm willing to take a chance on. I know some Sonic games recently in the past few years haven't been, you know, AAA titles kind of thing, but still pretty cool nonetheless. Right there. And then this one here, obviously I want to pick up. It's a Simpsons game. I have a huge, you know, following for the Simpsons. I don't really watch the more recent episodes. I haven't really watched like the last few seasons of it, but when I was a kid, I watched the Simpsons like religiously. It was the greatest thing on television at the time. You know, 13 years old watching The Simpsons was really awesome, like the first seasons and stuff like that. So, always wanted to get that. Played this game on the 360, never played it on the PSP before, so I don't know how it stacks up, but I'm willing to check it out anyways, and it's complete, which is really nice and in awesome shape. A few dings in the manual, but nothing major, and the UMD's in pretty wicked shape too, so it's, you know, overall definitely worth the $5 I picked that up for. So basically, for all those things, including this AV pack and these 5 games, I paid 20 bucks. So I thought that was pretty reasonable. Moving on, I actually picked up something which my wife picked up for me, which is another Skylanders Trap Team character. Now, I haven't really gone too crazy on the Trap Team stuff just yet. I just don't have the room for it, but I will eventually. I'll probably try to get all of them, but I'm trying to really get things on sale and stuff like that, which for the most part I did. Like when I got my starter pack, you know, that one was on sale, and also just like other characters. I'm looking over there now just to see what I have, but I don't really have like a lot of Trap Team stuff. I think this is like my first one that's actually in this kind of case, so there you go right there. This one's called Torch. Pretty cool. Looks like she basically has like a flamethrower kind of action on it. I really love the Skylanders game. They're tons of fun and sort of just like mindless fun kind of thing. Like, yeah, your character can die, but I have so many characters, just put another one on and away you go. It's just fun, like plowing through the levels and like the collectathon basically that those games are, so it's pretty fun. Moving on from there, I stopped in actually at, let's see here, this is from a Value Village. I picked up one of these here, which usually people would leave behind, but it's kind of interesting. This is an NHL Slapshot hockey stick attachment. Interestingly enough, these go really well, I guess, on eBay. People are paying like quite a bit of cash, not just for this, like this with the game, but I do have a game separately that I'll put with this, and I'll try to sell that off. For some reason, the game's fairly valuable. With this, it's like even more valuable, so that's really why I grabbed it. I mean, this is gonna be for resale. I'm not gonna sit here with a hockey attachment swinging my Wiimote around. It's kind of weird. So still pretty cool though. It comes with like decals and stuff like that you can put on the sides of the stick and whatnot, and then you put like your nunchuck and Wiimote like inside or whatever, and it registers like with the game that you're shooting a puck. I think maybe that's why it might be interesting for people. It's just a little bit of different take on things, but you know, it's sealed and everything like that, and for $3 I wasn't going to leave that behind, so I'll probably end up bundling that off. I can't imagine I'll be down here in the retro dungeon swinging this thing around. It's not enough room really to do that, although I can use the Wiimotes and stuff fine. It's just that's a little bit you know, excessive, I think. So that was one of the things I picked up from there. I also picked up Pokédex Official Strategy Guide. This is Volume 2, and I also picked up Volume 1. I'm not totally, yeah, black version and white version. So I picked up both of these. They're missing a few things out of them, like I think whoever had them took the poster out and stuff like that, but still, I don't know a whole lot about this Pokemon like craze and things like that. That's, you know, that's something like completely out of my frame of existence kind of thing, but I know that these are, you know, easy sells kind of thing if someone's interested in them, so I decided to pick them up. Pretty cool though. They're in okay shape, a little bit beat up, but they were $1.99 each, so I'm not going to complain about that. Pretty cool, you know, just to sell with the game or whatever if I need to, kind of deal. Sweeten the pot. And then the next part actually kind of interesting, not something like amazing or anything like that, but another PSP title which I wanted to add into my collection because I've heard good things about it. It's Luminous, which is Puzzle Fusion. It's just a puzzle game. I do like my puzzle games, so this one's pretty neat, and there's like an original receipt in there. I just want to see somebody bought this game for like $30 in August of 2008. So that's what that receipt's telling me anyways. I didn't spend $30 on this. I spent $3 on that, so 1/10 of what they were paying. But the manual's in great shape, and the UMD's in decent shape. It's not too bad, so pretty good score, I think. Something I had heard about. People really praise this game. It's like a rhythm. It's linked to the music, but you're like matching up shapes or something like that. It's just something you should check out if you haven't checked it out before. So it's Luminous, pretty cool. And then I also picked up Gun for the Xbox 360, which I've wanted to get before, but couldn't really find like definitely reasonable. So I thought I'd pick it up, and it's in pretty excellent shape actually. I believe the disc is like, yeah, it's absolutely mint. So I was really happy to find that. It's been pretty dry in that Goodwill lately, so really happy to find a couple of titles, that's for sure, that I was able to pick up. And for that one there, they wanted $5. So just between the two, you know, $8, I figured I'd pick up these two games. Pretty awesome deal, I think. And then moving on, I also stopped in, and this was on the previous weekend, but I stopped in at a flea market, and I always seem to get pretty nice deals, I think, at this flea market. It's not too bad. A lot of their stuff, like really high-end stuff or whatever, would be retail, but they have a lot of stuff that they're basically, I think, just trying to unload. So I go in there and try to find some pretty decent items that I think are well worth it. For these 4 games, I spent $25, which I thought was a pretty good deal considering how flea markets and things like that are running around here. Basically, you know, starting to get like the same prices as thrift shops. So it's nice to know that, you know, at least it's going to someone who like has a store or whatever. Not price gouging and stuff like that. Just, you know, like they have a store, they know about games, that kind of stuff. So it's good to have my money go in there rather than to you know, Value Village or something, which is starting to overcharge a lot. So the first one here I picked up is actually iNinja, which it came out on multiple platforms, but of course I like my original Xbox, so that's that there. Pretty cool. This is like a platformer by Namco, I think. This one here is like in really excellent shape. I was pretty surprised by that. Just a lot of the stuff they had there is fairly beat up, but this was in great shape, so I decided to pick it up. But really underrated game, I think. I think this might have been on like one of those Metal Jesus Rocks kind of hidden gems sort of thing, so I wanted to get it in my collection. Definitely wanted to check it out, and obviously anything ninja related is kind of fun. So that's that right there. That one there was $5. For $5 as well, I picked up Magical Star Sign, which I saw, I believe it was Corey Zamier picked this up very recently, and he seemed pretty happy with it. I think it's an RPG style of game. Don't know a whole lot about it, but RPGs are things that, you know, I like to get into my collection. So it's totally complete in there. The manual's in behind or whatever. Here, I think it's got like both the French and the English ones. It's got precautionary booklets and everything. Manual's in great shape. The cart's in great shape, right in there. So pretty cool. I'll have to check it out. Looking forward to it, that's for sure. And a nice addition to the collection, definitely for $5 too. And here's one I didn't know a whole lot about, but I was just kind of going off of what I could see. It looks again like some sort of RPG. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's called From the Abyss. And I was just going off it based on the shots in the back because I never really looked it up before. But looks pretty cool. Personalize your own army kind of stuff. Sort of maybe like Final Fantasy Tactics. I don't know. I'll have to check it out and see, but pretty cool nonetheless. So that's that one. And then finally, a Final Fantasy game itself. This is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Rings of Fate. And so, you know, I like to bump up my Final Fantasy stuff, so it's pretty cool right there. It's totally complete and in excellent shape too. For this one here, they wanted $10, which I think is pretty reasonable for this title. I think it's probably for what it goes for, and I think this one here might have been sort of underrated. Like, it gets a bit of a bad rap, I think, online, but I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be. I think it's like a pretty decent title. I think what they're complaining about is, like, at the start of the game, I watched some gameplay on it. People were complaining it's like two little kids whining basically the whole time at the start of it, but as you progress through it, my understanding is that they actually like grow up and stuff like that, and so, you know, the gameplay kind of changes accordingly with that. So nonetheless, I need to check it out. Don't know a whole lot about it, but it is a Final Fantasy title and wanted to add to my collection. For that, they wanted 10, so I thought that was, you know, pretty decent to get, you know, those 4 games for $25. Wasn't really expecting to get prices like that, definitely. So that's everything that I picked up recently. Not a huge haul per se, but just some pretty decent titles. Like, pretty glad to add some of those PSP things in there. You know, a gun game that I really wanted to check out, and obviously some of these DS titles that I'm trying to you know, get a few titles for the DS collection, just get some quality in there. So pretty happy with everything. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.